Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Martin115, joined by my lovely, darling, not my co-host.
I'm really sick of your shit.
Couldn't care. We're also joined by my lovely, darling co-host.
Hello everybody, I am Cameron. Welcome back for another week, and welcome back to the final week of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Good fucking time.
God, oh my God, this is going to be the best year.
I was hoping you'd take it away, but I guess not. Anyways, we are here talking about a subject I have brought to the guys.
Let me guess. Wrestling.
No, we're actually talking about Liverpool today.
God damn it. When are we getting our Desperate Housewives episode?
Why have you brought Desperate Housewives to 2 episodes now?
It's on my mind.
We'll hook you up with Shane or Claire or someone, and we'll sit them down with you, and you can talk about Desperate Housewives.
Good.
Do you know what? We'll make you a brand new channel, Desperate Marks, and you'll only talk about Desperate Housewives.
Not another channel.
Anyways, we are here to talk about a topic I have brought to the boys, and this episode is about fumbled stars in professional wrestling. So I put together a list of kind of like starter ones to get us talking and get us going. I said to lads, if you think of someone, do shout it out. We're not just going to be targeting one company. Yes, one might be more than the other, and you'll be shocked to know it's not AEW with me. But it is talking about the potentials of stars that could have happened. This may become a 2-parter because it is a fairly long list. We'll see how things go. Yes, we're going to football stars. So I'm going to start things off by getting Carmel to unlock his phone.
I have one.
Oh,
I have one.
go ahead.
Emmett.
I wouldn't say a fumbled star.
Waste of space.
Jeez.
That's fair. All right then. More of it's a bit like John Cena. You know, you can't see it.
That's fair enough.
Oh. So like The Rock picks and chooses when he wants to appear.
No.
Okay.
Because he doesn't really pick or choose. He's just kind of there.
Well, he picked and chose what time he was going to be here.
After the shoot.
Yeah.
Anyways, kicking things off, I think this one Carl will kind of lead into a lot because it is one of his favorite stars in AEW currently, Toni Storm.
Yeah.
In WWE.
Yeah. She had a decent run in WWE. Everywhere outside of the main roster.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. Like NXT UK, yeah, she's NXT UK Women's Champion.
Yeah.
What's she doing in NXT?
Well, even before she went on to main roster NXT, she won the May Classic or May Young Classic in 2019.
Yeah.
I want to say beating Io Sky in the final or Io Shirai at the time. But then just once all that came to a head, there was nothing for her. She got kind of absolutely wasted on the main roster. I believe there was some storyline with like dog food or cat food.
No, it was
something.
pie and putting pie in. Either she got, I can't remember, did Charlotte throw pie in her face or did she throw pie?
Either way.
Yeah, that was the point where she said, yeah, this isn't for me.
Either way. But as well as that, like she went to AEW and it wasn't until she reinvented herself that she found that kind of, I suppose, gap nearly in the market to where she could grow and build herself to be, in my opinion, today the best female wrestler in the world.
Okay.
But yeah, I do agree. Like I suppose, I do agree, especially with the main roster and stuff like that. She just didn't get what she wanted. She didn't get what she deserved, and she just got pushed out the door. Really. But again, look at the Mae Young Classic. Obviously, she won that. I think it was the second one that she won. Her run in NXT UK wasn't too bad, but then just once she got to NXT in the main roster, it just didn't go well.
They fumbled her on that main roster.
Yeah, it didn't go well at all.
Now look at her
But
now.
look at what she did in AEW.
Yeah. And as you said, one of your favorites, but like it took her reinventing herself really to do anything, which is like it's kind of what's talked about in wrestling. Like Chris Jericho is massive for reinventing himself, you know?
Yeah.
But like she is such a gimmick now, and everyone agreed that if Vince was still around, by God, he would wish he came up with that gimmick.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But you also have the case now where, like, she's done that gimmick for 2 years-ish now.
Yeah.
Where does she go from here? Because that gimmick has nearly slightly run its course. She's obviously recently lost the women's championship. She's obviously
Big stat.
she had the rematch for the women's championship and lost that match. But it's interesting to see where she can take that character now and move it forward, whether she reinvents it again ever so slightly. But yeah, 100% in WWE was
massive.
a major fumble with Tony Storm.
This looked like coming off as one of the biggest indie stars in women's wrestling.
100%, yeah.
And just doing absolutely nothing with her.
Absolutely.
Well, like, there was a lot of talk about her when it was announced with the Mae Young Classic, where a lot of under independent female wrestlers or female wrestlers who were signed for a different company. Like, it was Tony Storm's name mentioned the most as well.
Yeah.
Then she done the Unthinkable, won it, done the NXT UK stuff. When she got to the main roster, it just felt like
shit.
Her potential wasn't there.
Yeah.
They didn't see the actual potential she had.
Yeah. But again, how can you when she really changed the character?
This one's more of a personal one for me. Austin Aries in WWE.
He came in towards the end, really. And I don't think there was really much for him.
I think he brought it upon himself as well.
Really?
Like, great wrestler. No one can doubt that. But I think his biggest issue is wherever he goes is he has an attitude. Like, yes, you can go in and go, all right, I know I'm the best technical wrestler in the world. I know what my shit, I know what I can do. But I just think his attitude stinks at everything. Like, okay, I'm walking in, I'm Mr. Like, he reminds me of a guy, like, I know AJ Styles is Mr. TNA, but he reminds me of that guy who walk in, I dominate TNA for years, so I know my stuff in this company. No, it is still a wrestling company, but it's a whole completely different wrestling company. So, yes, it's down the booking as well with him, with the Cruiserweight Classic stuff and other stuff that he was doing, but I just think his morale and attitude there.
But I think as well, when we talked about Tony Storm about reinventing the character and stuff, I think it's something that Austin Aries would have needed to do in WWE to try and get to that next step. The only other example I can give is when Jen Storm came in. I know he was there for 2 weeks or something. But I reckon if he had stayed in NXT, he wouldn't have gone much further than NXT unless he changed himself. Bobby Roode came in, completely changed everything.
The glorious thing and everything.
The glorious thing, managed to get his. No, what happened on the main roster is a complete fumble. But what he managed to do in NXT by changing himself really got that going. But I think with Austin Aries, he would have needed to do something to progress himself.
Martin can vouch for this. I'm one of the biggest fans when it came to TNA of Option C.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest, that whole Austin Aries thing where he was being suicide, yeah, sorry. I didn't know if he changed his name when it happened.
It's LAX.
Yeah, but remember they changed Suicide's name?
Manic
and all that. I wasn't too sure which one it was at the time. And then he goes, I'm cashing an Option C. Biggest fan ever, that stuff. Was happy to see him, but genuinely, I think his attitude stinks. And then he went back to TNA, and then he's just. I genuinely think it was his attitude.
What was confusing at the time for me? Obviously, Austin Aries had an okay NXT run. Obviously, cut short due to injury, broken orbital bone from Kenta, and then the debut of 205 Live with Austin Aries on commentary, and he says, I'm here until I decide to get inside that ring. I feel like as well he was kind of doomed from the start. Him and Neville had one of the most interesting rivalries going into WrestleMania 33. And they were put on the kickoff show.
It was standardized for Cruiserweight Championship at the time, though.
I get that. But they were so willing to move the SmackDown Women's title off that kickoff to and swap out with the Intercontinental title because of fans giving out that that's had a bit of a story. Why wasn't the same done for the Cruiserweight title?
It's two different completely circumstances. You have the women who at the time was the start of kind of the women's revolution, where they were trying to get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. higher to the card 2 years later the main event in the show. Whereas a cruiserweight title that 2 years later was non-existent.
But my thing is, at the time of stories, people gave out the women's match, like the SmackDown Women's Championship match was like the kickoff, but it had a story. It did. It had a really good story going into it. That was fair. Bringing it over an Intercontinental story with Carl Corbin and Ambrose just kind of started. There was other matches on there that were just throwaway matches. Just swapped it out easy to prove it. So it was kind of doomed from that. And then so he has this rivalry with Neville, which was very, very good. I think they had a submissions match at Extreme Rules, a match of Payback. And then literally right after Payback, might have been like the next day on Raw or a week later, that we had come to terms with release of Austin Aries. Literally, and all he was told was creative just have nothing for you.
Yeah. But that was an issue with the cruiserweight division at that time anyway. So I think it's more so probably bad creative than Austin Aries himself.
Another one I have on my list, and I'm going to skip on to this one because you brought it up. Bobby Roode on the main roster.
Yeah, it's 100% fair, yeah. There's no argument there to it. Like. But again, we've seen this with people on NXT coming up to the main roster. It hasn't necessarily always worked out. You know, there's a handful of occasions where people have come straight up onto the main roster and it's been perfect. There's a lot of occasions where it's taken a long time for things to work out. Someone like Becky Lynch. Yeah. She came up to the main roster. It took a couple of years before she really found her stride, found the man character, and became what we now know. But, with Bobby Roode,
that seemed like such a Vince character, this just arrogant heel who was all about himself. I'm the top guy. It seemed like such a perfect gimmick for Vince McMahon. And he had an alright start. Well, I think the downfall really started was in the tag team with Chad Gable. Because after that, he was just lost in the phone. Constantly this tag team guy.
But Chad Gable was the exact same.
Yeah.
Chad Gable was lost in that fumble as well. But the other thing to remember with Vince is Vince likes his guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't like people that have really come in from somewhere else. He never really has. Look at people like DDP. You know that kind of way? There's been the odd one that escaped through, like with say Booker T or someone like that. But generally, he doesn't like those guys that have made a name elsewhere.
If you're not born and bred in WWE, you're not.
Exactly. Unless you're an AJ Styles, where like you're probably the best wrestler in the world.
Even with AJ Styles, he didn't even think he was going to be that big.
No, but that was for him to tell AJ to prove yourself because.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I will stand by this. I agree with what he said.
No.
How many guys did he have that can do flippy dippy shit? A lot of guys can do flippy dippy shit. If that's all you're here to do, I don't need you. So what did AJ do? As he said, reinvented himself.
Well, AJ, you can say that, but his New Japan stuff wasn't flippy dippity shit.
No, it wasn't. But I can guarantee you, Vince saw none of that.
No, I know.
Whereas he saw his TNA stuff and said to him, "Look, all I know that you do is flippy dippy shit. All you do is flips. All you do is this. Prove me wrong." What did AJ do? Proved him wrong. For a long time, AJ was Vince's go-to. Shit, this person's not good. Who do I throw in? AJ.
Yeah. But it's not like, look at even Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is a US champion. Like.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
You know? So it's not as if he didn't get the opportunities.
No.
He did.
Bobby Roode was so big at one point in NXT. My friends started asking me about his entrance. And I have about 2 friends.
It's glorious.
In the group chat who are, we'll say, casuals of wrestling fans. But the rest of them were like, "Oh, did you see this guy who does all this stuff and all that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's like Bobby Roode." You know, "Oh, his entrance is serious."
As well as that, like the time just before he got injured, it almost seemed like they were kind of integrating him back into something a bit more serious. And then he got injured, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's official that he's retired, but he's pretty much retired.
But he seems like he's loving his job at the moment, what he's doing.
Well, that's it. Like, of course he is. But like, you're still involved with wrestling. You're involved with
his passion is still there,
stuff like that. So.
This one is a very, very recent one. I'm going to kind of give WWE a break for a bit. Ricky Starks in AEW. This one you can very much lean left and right here.
It's a tough one because he was given the opportunities. And I think he grabbed the opportunities with both hands. I just think again, it seemed like he might have had a bit of an attitude kind of problem. You see things with like the promo with Edge in the ring, where Edge is kind of going at him, calling him a beat-up rock and stuff like that. That seemed to, now again, it's all kind of character work and stories and whatever else, but it nearly seemed like Edge was actually having a go at him. Or Adam Copeland, whichever way you want to do it. But again, like he did have those opportunities. He did become a name, Jonah Canoa, and I think he was liked by a certain portion of fans. So
Like that,
I
though.
don't know if it's a complete fumble.
Like, do you think what Cameron's made a point there? Do you think it was he didn't make this point, but was it AEW who fumbled them, or was it the AEW fans that fumbled them?
There we go.
We're not mentioning no. It was AEW, or was it the portion of the fans that didn't get behind them that didn't get him that push?
No, I don't think it's anything to do with the fans. Like Ricky Starks was over with the crowd. He was over with the crowd. I mean, I think it was just a lack of confidence in him. I really do, because, and this probably it's a horrible thing, a horrible example. Look at Ricky Starks when CM Punk was booking him. Look at Ricky Starks when Tony Khan was booking him. He got him over. But I like a few other people, like there's people like Daniel Garcia, like I think was it Wrestling Show I heard say this. They've gotten, and there'll be another person in this list, he's gotten people over, but just hasn't pulled the trigger on them.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia, I think it was Morrow said, he got him over twice.
Mm-hmm.
And twice did nothing. Didn't capitalize on it. So,
well, I think in that sense, like bookers will always nearly fall back on their guys.
Their main guys, yeah.
So like, kind of, how many situations have we seen Seth Rollins in where maybe a championship isn't working out and someone give it to Seth Rollins? We've seen it in AEW with John Mox through the whole CM Punk thing, Hangman, all that sort of stuff. Who could we give it to that's reliable? John Mox. So like, kind of, people have their guys that they go to. So there is going to be a sense where he's looking at Daniel Garcia and he goes, okay, we have him there. Do we pull the trigger? Is he the right guy at this moment? Maybe not. And he dwindles down.
And look, I know reportedly there was plans of like if Punk hadn't got released, he was supposed to take the real world championship from Punk. That was the plan. Obviously, that's again back to Punk's booking. So we that could have been the start of, okay, yeah, he can hold the championship, depending on how the run went, and things could be completely different today.
Yeah.
But instead, it was into the tag team with Big Bill, won the tag titles, dropped him, and was never seen again until he was let go. And obviously now we see Ricky Saints in NXT absolutely killing it.
Disagree.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's having an amazing run in NXT. I think he's been handed everything so far, but I don't think he's having an amazing run.
His match with over Femi, I really enjoyed.
Like, it's been all right, but I don't think he's been a standout star as everyone could have hoped or expected he would be.
I think
unlike Ethan Page.
Well, he's on the list. Ethan Page, AEW.
Again, he was a guy who they kind of pushed. They got him to a certain place where he was looking really, really good. And then they just kind of put him with Matt Hardy. And just kind of let him dwindle away down to the bottom of the card. Which is ended up why he ended up leaving and ended up joining NXT. But again, he's taken the opportunities in NXT with both hands. He wasn't initially handed the NXT championship. He brought it to a different kind of level, dropped it again to Obafemi, or maybe it was Trick Williams, I can't remember. But look at what he's doing with his North American championship or Canadian championship.
Yeah, so
it's unbelievable.
So we have Ricky Saints and Ethan Page now, yeah? Will we come back in, let's say, a year's and a half time when they're on the main roster and see where they are? Like, you what we're talking about, what they're doing now. But like, what is it when they put their foot into the Raw or into SmackDown?
But I think this is what I was going to say with Ricky Starks. I think it'll transition better and well for him on main roster if the fans get behind him as well as in AEW.
That's fair, but
because it is
they're-
a big fish in a small pond.
but
in
they're
NXT,
also
in my opinion.
two completely different fan bases.
They
in
are.
my opinion. Even though they're still WWE, to me, they're
You've got to
still.
reinvent yourself. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing of reinvent
But-
yourself.
I like Ricky Saints. I think he's good. I like his attitude. I like his persona. I just like the cockiness of him. If he goes on to the main roster, I don't see him winning world title. I see him either intercontinental or tag team
But
champion.
that's not a bad thing.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I don't see him. But Ethan Page,
I guess, yes.
I see him as a world champion in the main roster.
On SmackDown.
Yeah, neither are. I think if you put both of them on the main roster right now, Ethan Page has more success.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I can agree with that. Ethan Page would be more successful on the main roster, but that's just because I feel there's more character within Ethan Page.
I'll actually put it a bit more blunt. I think Ethan Page survives.
Oh,
yeah.
So you think that Ricky, let's say he goes up, it's a countdown clock.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
I want to add someone there before you go on to the next one, because I don't know if that person's in NXT or AEW or what. Kenta.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
He's wrestling no, I think, at the moment.
No, yes. You mentioned, I don't know which
I
one.
think Kenta and or Hideo Itami in WWE was
Hideo
just
Itami.
pure bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Pure bad luck.
I think with Vince still being in charge, he reached the limit. He couldn't have gone any higher.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not on him. That's on booking. I don't think Kenta could have gone any higher in WWE.
When we speak about classic NXT signings and Triple H in the ring with people in a suit, well, they're also in a suit. We've talked about the Finn Balor's, we've talked about the Kevin Owens and all that. When I seen that picture with Kenta, I went onto YouTube and looked up every single highlight that he done a GTS with, and mark my words, I said he's better than CM Punk tonight, no matter what.
I can't believe you stole that move from CM Punk as well.
Anyway, and
shocking behavior.
I was so happy to see him. And then Finn Balor and him tag teaming up, I was like, oh my God, this is just a dream watching this. And then, it didn't work out for him.
As I said, I think he hit a ceiling where he wouldn't have been allowed to go any higher.
Higher, yeah.
Rather than him not.
It's strange because he had that kind of nice main roster call. Again, they brought him back with Finn Balor. Finn Balor was being attacked and Kenta came out and saved him. They had a tag match. I think he was supposed to debut on 205 Live and he just showed him wrong. And then after that, he was confined to 205 Live, which even then weren't giving him the Cruiserweight Championship. I think he lasted a couple of months. He was gone by the Rumble.
So sad to see him go.
Look what he went off really. Off to New Japan, joined Bullet Club, won championships. He's in Noah now. So it was kind of better for him. He wasn't really happy there. His NXT run, as I said, was pure
gold.
Bad luck. It was bad luck.
Oh, I know.
He came in, started off.
It was gold for me because not in a way that he was doing amazingly. It was gold for me because I was so happy to see him there. Because, as I said, when we're talking about the Triple H signings, when he's in the ring with signing people in also suits and all that, I was refreshed in the WWE page every single day, coming home from school and all that, seeing who got signed today, hoping somebody got signed. And as I said, when I seen Kenta, I was just excited.
Yeah, and as I said, if he had a start, there was definitely plans to push him. It was appear at WrestleMania, got injured, came back, very first night, I think that week or that month, got injured again, came back again, got injured, came back, had a small run, went straight to main roster, and then that was just
just very unlucky.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was just unlucky that
Yeah. The next one, I'll let you pick. AEW or WWE?
You pick.
So I'll let you pick a name from that list. There is more down the bottom, by the way.
Oh, Mr. Kennedy.
Good one, in my opinion. Oh, Mr. Kennedy. Bit like
also known as Carl Anderson.
Carl Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
When you said Anderson, I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Ken Anderson.
Anyways, Mr. Kennedy, yes, in my opinion, massive flop on Vince's part. But at the same time, it was all politics. There was massive plans for some pushes that got cut short, either by his own doing or just whispers in the ear.
But you think all this was true? Is this all true though?
Again, it's one side.
And that's what I'm saying. We always hear about him talking about it.
We've heard him talk about it. Obviously, we'll never hear about you'll never hear Randy Orton or John Cena's point of view of anything, But the only thing we can talk about is possibly factual is obviously he was supposed to be Vince's illegitimate son. He was supposed to go on and win the World Championship. We'll start with the World Championship. Misdiagnosed by one doctor, told you to be out for over a year, and so had to give up the briefcase. Went after dropping the briefcase to go get checked out. Oh, that's actually pretty good. You're back there fairly quick. What? The damage was done. Then the illegitimate storyline came along. It was supposed to be Kennedy, but then they brought in a new wave of policies with drug use and something like that. And I can't remember what he actually said he was taking. But I remember him, it was prescription, whatever, and he was still taking it. It came up and he tried to fight his case. He said, look, if we let you pass, everyone's going to try the same shit. You have to be punished. And just that storyline went to Hornswoggle instead. So again, a lot of politicking, a lot of bad timing for Kennedy in terms of his actual push. He was a great character, great for that time. And it is sad that even to this day we haven't seen him back. Well, if he came back today, it wouldn't be the same guy.
Because you think about it, he was a cocky cunt. Excuse my language, waiting there.
Bleep that, by the
way.
I'm not bleeping it.
And then seeing that coming down. Everybody.
But that's so over.
But that's what I'm saying. It got so over. But that's what I'm saying. He was an annoying cunt for it because it got on my nerves, and that's what you wanted. But then he went to TNA, yeah. The Ace of Eights, the whole
brilliant storyline. No one ever told me that wrong.
And he even done his microphone thing there, and did he dye his hair brown, or was that, or am I confused?
Ever had brown hair? Did he?
Did he?
No, I don't remember.
I'm not too sure, but I remember.
He did Ace as an Ace.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I think this
probably
is
character.
But I genuinely preferred his TNA run than his WWE run.
Well, I mean, he's a two-time world champion in TNA.
Just made his return as a one-off, I believe, recently. But I remember in 2005 leaving a house show in 3 Arena, and me and my dad walking down, and I remember people a car driving past, and lads just screaming, "Mr. Kennedy!" It got so over. But no, he is a good one. But again, it is down to kind of politics and bad timing.
I think it's bad luck over anything else.
Yeah. Which, for a long time, he was very, very bad about it. But now, time has gone on and
healed.
He's healed over it. This one I'll give to Carnival because I think it'll be a good one for you to talk about. Marcus Corvon / Monty Brown.
It's a weird one because obviously the great career in TNA. I believe he was an NWA World Champion at one stage. And he was involved in a lot of kind of top stories. But again, it was kind of one of the early days of TNA. I think it was in around the time Christian started coming in. WWE came knocking on the door. He went over to WWE and they just wasted him. They threw him into an ECW, the brand new ECW that was failed from the beginning.
The new breed.
They brought him into the new breed with Kevin Thorne and Matt Stryker and someone else I can't remember. Maybe that was it.
No.
I can't remember who the other person was. Elijah Burke.
142-0 in amateur boxing.
And he was just absolutely wasted. He got his match on WrestleMania 23 and he was never seen again. So yeah, again, I don't necessarily know what happened in WWE, why it didn't work out, why it didn't pan out, but he would have been better off staying in TNA.
Really, yeah. But even like now, nobody's seen him.
Yeah, I think he did a convention last year, and that was the first time.
Even TNA wanted to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Couldn't find a contact for him.
That's
Yeah.
mental.
yeah, just completely disappeared from the face of wrestling. But we've seen that over the course of the years. Even people who've been major prospects who just disappeared.
Just hung up the boots and walked away.
Yeah. Next one, you can put down to bad luck. You can put down to just pure their attitude. Enzo and Cass in the WWE.
Well, separate them for a second. If
Okay.
we're talking about...
We'll start with Big Cass. Obviously, a lot of stuff downplayed him.
Oh, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
So, like, you had, like, on his own, even with that heel run, I don't feel like he really stood out. He was just such generic, tall guy. I'm going to beat somebody up. As well, he played his own devil on his shoulder. Please do not go out and kick this fucking person in the head. Goes out and fucking beats the shit out of him, like in the whole Daniel Bryan storyline. Mix that with just depression and just not happy with himself. He really, really, really played into his own downfall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you look where they started in NXT and the meteoric rise that they had to the top, getting called up to the main roster, interrupting the Dudleys, everybody in the crowd knew who they were, staying along with their chant, everything. I think they might have just got there a little bit too quick, and it might have just led to their downfall a little bit. But I suppose, yeah, overall they were kind of misused or kind of going.
Enzo and Cass in WWE didn't win a single tag title.
Yeah.
Not one. No, not NXT, not Raw, not SmackDown, not a single tag team championship.
They were one of those teams that didn't need it either, though. They didn't. They didn't need that gold. Like, they didn't.
But like at the moment where Big Cass is in AEW, I still today think he's the same guy in WWE. Like,
I quite enjoyed his run in Impact. Now I will say the W Morrissey stuff I really enjoyed. I do enjoy
not Impact, AEW.
A bit of the big bill in AEW. I will say his match with Eddie Kingston at All Out was alright. Could have been much better. So
I don't know. Like as you said, some characters come from a different company and reinvent themselves. Yeah, to me, Big Cass and Big Bill is just the same guy.
But what else can you do? You're 7 foot tall. You're a fairly athletic guy.
No, I know, but like,
where
it's very hard. That's what I'm saying. It's very hard for him to do that.
Yeah, you can't do much else. Like, I mean, Big Show was built for 20 years as 7 foot tall and 500 pounds.
Yeah, that's the same guy,
and that's what everybody knew.
Yeah,
so that kind of way. So Enzo's doing fairly cool things at the moment. He's got the 4th rope going with Zilla Fatu and the other guy I don't know. He's got decent stuff going at the moment.
He's just a liability.
I think Enzo just got a lot of really bad publicity towards the end. When he won the Cruiserweight Championship, like it was constant. Like you'd always see Enzo on TMZ, whatever on the streets with the title, talking about whatever, and then obviously got caught in that controversy, which was found out to be just complete BS. It was caught in such bad time, but in my opinion, he made 205 Live fun to watch. Now, as soon as when he was gone, 205 Live was still fun to watch. I've really enjoyed those last few years of it. But like he elevated it much more. But now, with Enzo going on top, meant one person was gone. And he's also on the list, and that is Neville.
But like,
I think he was unlucky on the main roster. He got a couple of kind of injuries. The one obviously against Chris Jericho is probably the most memorable. He got a couple of injuries which kind of took him out of the game, but like he was NXT. There would be no NXT without Adrian Neville or Pac. He was the foundation that laid what NXT became.
Like
One
his
of the
rivalry against
was,
Bo Dallas is
I
amazing.
think he was the third or fourth NXT champion, but he really brought into that new wave with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, those guys that came up along. He got brought up to the main roster. He was made a big deal of. Injuries obviously got a bit of a toll. Came back to 205 Live, and he was just never getting out of that kind of.
I think he could have, though. I think he really put 205. Okay, talk about NXT. He built 205.
Oh, 100%, but I fully agree. But I don't think he could have got out of that 205. I don't know. Maybe he could have.
Oh, he was hard stuff. But if Vince really wanted to, I feel like he definitely could have.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
could.
probably, yeah.
It could have gone like, all right, we're done with the cruiserweight stuff now. Let's kind of put you up to what we're on Raw at the time, the Intercontinental Championship. And let's see if you do that well, we might consider that match with Brock that you want. But odds are, unless Brock wants to work with you, it's going to be a squash match.
Yeah.
You know? But I do feel like if Vince really wanted to, Neville could have actually been a fucking star. He already proved this King of the Cruiserweights gimmick is making you money. The only reason it didn't make as much more money was they made him one fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it was shit.
Yeah.
Just King of the Cruiserweights.
Yeah. No, in saying that, I don't think his AW career has been mega.
No, it hasn't.
It's been tired by a lot of injuries and stuff like that. It's interesting to see now that he's back with that new, very, very new look that we haven't seen from back at all.
I don't know if I can wrap my head around it.
We got to give him time, see what he can do with it. But I'm hoping that he can stay injury free for a while and really show us who and what Pac is.
Go on.
Well, like, as I said, I have friends who are casual wrestling fans and the rest just don't watch wrestling anymore. And they were watching wrestling highlights one time when I was playing FIFA with them. They're just watching in the background. And you go, oh, your man who does that, the flip thing nearly bet Seth Rollins. I was like, yeah, that was a really good match. You should watch the actual full match. And then he went on and watched it and thought it was a great match.
That match, yeah. Maybe one that the fucking place popped as well.
Yeah, I've met him as well. He's a super nice guy. I'll give you a name. William Regal.
Now, would you consider his
I wouldn't consider him fumbled. I wouldn't.
For his manager thing in the
for the GM thing?
For the GM thing in
when he won the King of the Ring and he was supposed to win the World Championship.
I never knew this now.
He was supposed to win the World Championship and he failed the drug
yeah.
test.
But at the same time, does he not now also fall into the same category as Jake the Snake as one of the greatest wrestlers to never win a world championship?
That's the argument.
I wouldn't classify William Regal as a fumble star.
I wouldn't classify him as a fumble star, right?
I feel like he had an amazing career.
100% agree.
Between comedy, between just wrestling and fucking amazing matches.
He said has his list of championships as well that he's held.
Yeah. No.
I fully agree, but I just had to throw it out there.
No, it's a fair shout. I wouldn't put him in fumble stars. I put him in maybe like
could have done better.
Yeah.
Should have won a world championship. 1,000%.
Like his whole King of the Ring gimmick, he got under people's skin.
He was exceptional.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick out?
Swerve Strickland.
So you mean Isaiah Swerve Scott?
Yes.
WWE. I think that was as good as they could do with him. Honest to God.
No.
I think
they were never going to push him up to a main event star that
I think main roster, yes, 1,000%. I feel like Vince could have done something with him. The downside of it was Hit Row.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hit Row, I feel like if he went up on his own, he probably could have came up with something for him to be a big guy in the mid-card section for a bit and see how he flows. But coming up with Hit Row, I feel like that was just doomed from the get-go. I know they were big on NXT, but I think Shawn Michaels said it kind of best recently on an interview with CBV was NXT shows, the crowd at the pay-per-views and main roster are so, like, what works in whatever they call it now, the Performance Center.
PC.
Will not work. Might not work there because the Performance Center crowd are there to play their part. They know their part well. they do get everybody over. Whereas by the time you get to a takeover or something, why is the crowd not reacting to this? This worked last Tuesday. What the fuck? Because it's not the same crowd. They're not here to play a part. They're here to see how well you do. So I think Hit Row is really over NXT, part of that. And then it soon came to the main roster. No, they weren't giving a chance, but it was Swerve. I think he would have stuck in that.
But I think if he went up to the main roster on his own, he would have fallen into the same boat as a Cedric Alexander or a Shelton Benjamin or a Mustafa Ali. He would have been that kind of mid card guy that would have just ended up on the lower card.
Yeah.
He would have never made that. He wouldn't have been a world champion like he has been in AEW.
100%. He's 1,000% better off in AEW. 1,000%. I do not ever see him back in the
Oh no!
But I feel like as well he took the gamble on himself in AEW by having those death matches with the likes of Moxley and Hangman and stuff like that.
Putting his body through to show what he can do.
That kind of way. I think you have to make that sacrifice to really prove that you are the guy.
It's just sickening when you have a wrestler that you like get signed somewhere where you constantly watch. Like, as I said, I wasn't a big AEW fan, but now I'm watching it more and more and more and more. And getting to see what Swerve can do on AEW that he probably could never do on WWE is so exciting and thrilling.
100%, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't want to see the man getting a needle stuck in his mouth and hanging out the other side, but he's shown the world what he can do with one of the biggest platforms he can, which is AEW. And it's just really exciting to see, but it's also so sad to see that WWE couldn't pull the trigger on.
Yeah, fully agree.
Whose house?
Will's.
No,
okay.
This one now is another kind of personal one for me. And this one goes to WWE again.
No, it's going to be bad.
Cesaro.
Gallus.
Oh, God.
Big Wolf. What?
Go on. Talk.
What's the issue with Gallus? Joe Coffey, in my opinion.
I'm definitely not a shot here, but anyway.
Joe Coffey, in my opinion, really showed he could play a really fucking nasty character anywhere. I feel like Wolfgang and Mark as the backup were great. I honestly got that if Gallus came up with Drew McIntyre at that time of the Bloodline War, had War Games, that would have been a great faction. God knows where that would have went. They had a fine run in NXT UK. Okay run in NXT.
Not a great run in NXT.
No. They got the tag team championships, but I do feel like they weren't given that chance to go up. This guy's fucking got to train with The Rock. They got to get Rock ready. The ability is there for in the ring. I think if Gallus get the fuck back out of the ring, back out. If Gallus got that opportunity on the main roster, came up with Drew, did more games against the Bloodline, I do think that things could have gone so. Even story wise, where they could have gone, it would have been so fucking good.
No, I fully agree with you. My only kind of reason I kind of threw my eyes up was because you mentioned Gallus. And we all know Martin's a big fan of Gallus. But yeah, no, I fully agree.
Boys on top.
I fully agree.
This one, go on, sorry.
I agree to a certain extent. I know they were going to get called up with Drew and all that. I think that faction would be really, really exciting to see. All Scotsmen would fuck anyone up in a real life fight. But I don't think the faction would have gone a long way because of the Bloodline story. I think the faction would have lasted 4 or 5 months max.
But it's where you can go for after that.
That's what I'm saying. But what could you do after being with a top star like Drew McIntyre? What could you have?
Joe Coffey, main card, and Wolfie and Mark in the tag team scene. Same as you're doing NXT, but on a much bigger scale. And I think they would have got over.
But who are you going to give the titles to?
Wolfie and Mark.
And then what are you doing with the other two boys?
Drew is off on his own. Joe was always, he was the singles guy. Although, like the Coffey brothers, for years, that was the tag team. And Wolfgang was just kind of thrown in. Wolfgang and Mark were always the tag team champions.
Okay, you have Wolfgang and Mark.
Okay. And Joe was the singles guy.
Okay, the boys break up. Drew goes world title picture. Yeah, Wolfgang and Mark tag titles.
Yeah.
What are you doing with main man?
Mid card. In with the Intercontinental and US title. until see how they go, see how they float, and then you could come back around and maybe have a Drew McIntyre, Joe Coffey match somewhere with a big blow off of whether it's Gallus have turned their back on Drew or Drew's turned their back. You could have gone somewhere with it.
Do you think that could work? No.
Yes.
Yeah? And why? Is it the same reason he's saying, or do you have a different reason?
I think Drew is fantastic on his own. Drew is probably one of my favourite currently wrestling. But I think having that backup, having that team, because that's what he goes and does now. He goes out and beats people up. And he does it on his own. But having that backup of that team could have made him a megastar. And probably would have made him another world champion.
Fair.
Or won him another world championship title.
How long are we in now?
No idea. Check your phone because he would have been recording.
46 minutes.
We'll give 2 more names. As I said, it's a long list. There might be a part 2.
No part 2 sometime.
I'd like to do this with Shane and Morrow. So Shane and Morrow, if you're listening and watching, let us know because I'd love to do this one with you guys. This one that was very recent, very, very recent with their release last week. Wesley.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wesley is another guy that I watched on YouTube for a while, yeah? Seen him in NXT, he was cool and all that and doing his bits. And he could sell big moves to big guys. He reminded me of Cedric Alexander a bit, where he can take a move and make it look 10 times worse than it should be. There was nothing there for him. I genuinely hate to say it, but there was nothing there for him. And it's hard for me to say because I actually like Wesley. Like, he done the whole TNA crossover thing, which was really cool to see. And the Radicals and all that. Rascals, sorry. Jesus Christ, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself, that's sorry. But after that was done and done, what could you do with him? Like, yeah, he was thrown in here and he's thrown in there.
I think in NXT he could have been a world champion.
Oh, I don't see it.
Not only was he kind of over with the PC crowd, he was over with the PLE crowd. He was over with the house show crowd. I think the high rise could have been done a bit better rather than just being. I think the high rise was put together as a thing against the Rascals. I think booked better. It definitely could have gone somewhere else. But also Wesley left alone could have gone even higher. I think the downfall was the additions of Ethan Page, of Ricky Saints, because now you've got kind of really big guys with big names at the moment, and we have Wesley, who's our guy with a big name, who kind of leave him for a bit and come back to him, and they just never came back to him. He was put down to evolve. And that just seems to be the thing. You get put down to evolve, you get released.
They need to get rid of that.
So to me, yeah, I think Wesley could have done more.
He could have.
I think he was let down.
He could have, but there was nothing there for them to push him.
You said everything you want to say? We'll end on this name because it's a very much hit or miss. If you have a name that you want to end on as well, you can say it afterwards. But Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, it's 100% fair.
Oh, big time.
I mean, you look at WrestleMania 34. Obviously, he got called up. He won the Royal Rumble. He was just made this kind of massive star. You go on to WrestleMania 34, and there's no point talking about what happened afterwards.
No. There was nothing.
He might as well have been released the day after.
Like, you think about it, he was on top of the New Japan scene. And everybody wanted to see him and AJ in Japan. Everybody wanted to see him and AJ in WWE.
Shinsuke is one of the biggest wrestlers in New Japan ever.
Like,
and was non-existent in WWE after WrestleMania 34.
Now, I just don't remember the match as well. I remember being there and I was happy with the match. I was really happy with the match. Even like the people around me were happy with the match. I think too much hype was put on that match to exceed or be the same as their match at New Japan. But this is the WWE.
Yeah.
Vince won't allow
No,
that.
obviously. But like, do you know when you go on Twitter and people actually have decent quotes on there about a tweet or something? I was reading something and it was like, the King of Japan versus the King of Japan at one time versus the King of Japan at the century or something like that. Someone who really tweeted it really well spoken about it. I was like, okay, you have Shinsuke Nakamura, who is possibly the greatest Japanese star out there, the one that everybody loves in New Japan. And then you have AJ Styles, who went in, took over the Bullet Club, done his thing with the world title, comes to WWE. People were like, oh, this could happen, whispers in the works, Shinsuke went on and won the Royal Rumble. The match was ass. It was a bad WWE match.
I wouldn't even say it was ass.
I think it was. I thought there was going to be more explosive.
Again, I could tell you now, I have not watched the match back other than being there, and I was very happy with the match afterwards.
Were you happy because you were there live watching it, or
that's what I'm
yeah?
Because obviously there's a different. Now I will say is like at the same time, I nearly fell asleep to Brock versus Roman, so like that match was ass live there and live on
home. Yeah. But like what Cameron just said there, there's no point talking about Shinsuke Nakamura after that. That is
it was
very sad to hear.
Yeah, the push dropped massive. I think they should have pulled the trigger SummerSlam versus Jinder rather than waiting for Nakamura against Roman to win the Rumble and get the shot. Should have pulled the trigger at SummerSlam before. I know that was the plan, and then just trying to break into the Indian market. Jinder Mahal, in my opinion, by the way, one of the worst of the champions ever. I think that should have been the moment that they really shot for it, but decided not to. So I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like his heel run. Like it started off funny, sorry, speak English. But
the whole low blow thing then.
Yeah, it was a low blow. Like that was such a shocking moment. Like I remember, like my dad went to the bathroom and they were massive. What the fuck? Wow, what? Why? What? The place went mad. I remember Dad came back and said, "What was all the loud noise for?" I said, "Oh, Shinsuke just fucking took out AJ." So yeah, I think with Nakamura, it is a bit like that. But we'll have to
even on the NXT thing, like it's.
What's the blinking again? Anyways, look, it's something we'll have to come back to. He had a nice NXT run. He had a fairly bad main roster run again. I'm going to end on this. The last gimmick he had, she should have been fucking shot to the moon with. That gimmick was fucking brilliant. The theme song was so good. The presentation was amazing.
He also had one of the best live entrances.
And then they changed him back. They changed him fucking back.
I don't
bastards. But
we can fight about this. He has the best ever live entrance. When that young lad came out with the violin and just played it live, no one can beat that.
Massively.
Yeah, it was very good.
Check and make sure and see if that's gone. If it is, I will just outro it now.
Oh, fun little game.
It's your battery that's about to die.
Oh, the back one's today. Okay, we're going
to... More difficult. Have we quick time for a game?
I don't know. Is there much left?
Just like a red one bar.
Chance it if it goes on. We'll cover it. So, Tenable, if you have watched the last couple of episodes, you've seen Tenable. So, I'm going to give the lads 2 lives each. I'm going to go to one first, then the other. They cannot confer, they cannot talk about the answers. I'm going to ask them a question, which there will be 10 answers to. It can be the top 10 this, it can be the first 10 that, it can give me 10 of this. But the question that I have for today, and it is a tough one, can you name me the first 10 NXT pay-per-views or takeovers?
Oh.
This is a really
good one.
So that's number 1. So Martin goes first. They both get 2 lives. If Martin loses these 2 lives first, Will continue. So Will.
Brooklyn.
Is correct. That's number 6.
Arrival. NXT TakeOver Arrival.
Arrival?
There was Arrival and there was Rival. There's the 2 of them.
So what are you saying?
We got Rival.
Rival is number 4.
Is Arrival not there?
Will?
Arrival.
Is not there.
Really?
Yeah.
I just had it to
NXT TakeOver. Why?
No idea.
Because you had Arrival, which I think was Pac versus Sammy, And then
Yeah.
NXT Takeover Rival was Sammy versus Kevin.
Look, this list could
fair,
be
yeah,
wrong,
we
but
go
this
based
is
off
what
this.
this is what the list
wrong.
is.
The list
Yeah.
is wrong.
So you have Takeover, Rival,
I think it
and
was just called NXT
Brooklyn.
Rival or something. I don't know.
So you have 7 left, and it is to you. No,
No.
you have 3.
Oh, yes, it's me.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And
so
you're
you
minus a life.
have,
No, you're
NXT
minus a life.
Takeover Fatal 4-Way.
Is correct. That's number 2.
What was the one with... we help each other, don't you?
No. You can't while you still have your 2 lives left.
Oh, shit. I'm just gonna...
Let us know down below as well if you have the first 10. Let us know how many you get.
Did you have a Japan one? No.
There's no conferring.
I'm talking to myself!
Okay, that's
Give
fine.
him 10 seconds.
Yeah, you got 10 seconds.
NXT Martin's house.
Is incorrect. So Will is down to no lives. Will is out.
Stop being smart.
So it's just down to Martin here.
Just go.
Martin has 6 answers left to get. He still has 2 lives.
NXT Takeover Respect.
Is correct. Number 7.
That was number 7. Oh shit! There was more before that.
10 seconds.
I'll give you 10 seconds after 30 seconds.
10
before we
seconds.
No,
can
I'll
go.
give you a bit of time.
10 seconds.
I'll give you a bit of time.
So you had Brooklyn NXT Takeover Respect. You had NXT Takeover. So it was a Rumble one. Was it San Jose? It was in Texas.
I'll give you a hint that that's outside of the top 10. I think that's number 13. The one that you're thinking of. It was San Antonio.
San Antonio.
That's
Okay.
outside the top 10.
It would have been Takeover War Games.
Is not
there.
There's
Shit.
1 life left.
Okay, so Rival. You had Fatal 4-Way. You had NXT Takeover London.
Is correct. It's number 8. So that's 6.
Oh, that was afterwards. NXT Takeover. I think so. Brooklyn, Respect, and then there was somewhere else for the Rumble. Where the fuck was the Rumble that year? I know I'm missing all the early ones, but NXT Takeover.
If you get it wrong, I'll circle with you a few hints of like what the main events were and stuff like that.
Fuck. Arrival Takeover.
You want to
NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way. NXT
3,
Takeover
4.
Rival. NXT Takeover. What's the one with the cage match with Joe?
Oh my god.
I can tell you that one is number 10.
Fuck, what's the name of the one with Joe? I can't remember.
Took place in Full Sail.
How many
June
am I
8th,
missing?
2016.
It's all the Full Sail ones.
4. Missing 4.
I think I know one.
They're all Full
It's
Sail.
not all Full Sail, no.
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 Okay, so I'm right. There was one Rumble weekend. Where the fuck is the Rumble?
I think I know what it is.
One of them is in Full Sail. The rest of them are.
I think I know one is.
Sorry, 1, 2,
NXT
3, 4.
Takeover. I'll give myself 10 seconds here to put something.
9, 8,
Got about 50 minutes.
7,
I can't remember the fucking name.
5, 4, 3, 2.
NXT Takeover Houston.
Is wrong. It's
What
very
the answer?
close. It's very
I know
close.
the
What's
one.
the one?
I know the one that might be close.
One.
Dallas.
Dallas is correct.
Dallas is where the fuck, that
That's
Romania.
Finn Balor and Samoa Joe for the NXT
I
title.
knew it.
That also happened in London.
But then it also happened in the cage match after he beat him in the house show.
So that's another show.
Fucking name of the Full Sail show.
To give you a clue, I give you Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
That's the clue.
Was he in for tag titles and that?
I don't know if Baron
Just the
Corbin had a
classic.
match in that show. I don't know if he did or not.
That's the classic.
Name of the show. Baron Corbin is a clue.
What's Baron Corbin's finisher?
End of days. NXT Takeover the end.
That's correct.
I'm too good. Like,
We have 2 left. Number 3,
And
which
they're
was
outside of Full Sail.
no, these are all
Three
Full
and
Sail.
Okay.
The main
Okay.
event of the 3rd ever takeover was Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn in a title versus career match for the NXT Championship.
Can't remember them.
I believe it was the debut of Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens came out in powerbomb in the right apron.
It was Kevin Owens versus I can't remember what his wrestling name was, but it's
Juice
Juice
Robinson.
Robinson. Mojo had a match as well, I believe, versus Big Bull Dempsey, or that was an early one.
Part of the name, or the full name, bar letter, is the name of a tag team that was in WWE in the kind of mid 2000s. There was 4 people in the team. Consisted of all former world champions now. One of them emanates, yes, but
Revolution. That's right.
May 20th, 2015 was headlined by Kevin Owens, who was champion, versus Sami
Joe
Zayn.
made his debut, wasn't it?
I believe
After
so.
being
Yeah.
down.
I believe so.
But what is that called? I'm going to leave this one out to you because I've answered those.
Well, here's a clue that I can give for
I
this.
tuned out for the whole thing.
Great.
That's a clue I can give for this.
And Samoa Joe just debuted, and that wasn't Rival. No, it wasn't Rival. It's on the line zone.
MVP is an interesting clue. I don't think it's a right clue, but
fucking hell, it is. I can probably picture the fucking poster. I can't picture the wording.
it's a name that Hard Knocks would use.
Under Siege.
Undeniable.
I won't lie to you. I'm going to throw a random answer, get the answer, because I don't remember the top of my head. I remember Samoa Joe, David.
Rival.
I said Rival.
On something. On something.
Oh, it's an unname.
That's what I'm saying. On Rival.
Undeniable.
It is incorrect.
What is it? Oh. I don't remember.
Under the Sea. No.
MVP was my other clue, which is a very, very bad clue. I'm coming.
Undertake.
Nobody stop.
Understake.
I would throw
Understake.
Understake. Undercoat.
Under.
You're half right with the first letter, though. Unders. Oh no, sorry.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Number fucking song Unstoppable.
5. That has been tenable. The camera is off, so Martin can do the intro. That was tenable. That was tenable. Hi everybody.
Bye guys.
The camera's just after dying, but that is it. So is that the first one we've completed, I'm assuming?
Yeah, no, it's a little complete that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you all for listening to this episode. And as Led said, that was a fun little one. If you want to see more of that, as I said, I do have more on the list. I would like Mr. Shane, Mr. Morrow, I would invite you guys to come on and do that with us. But yeah, that has been.
We have been the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast, and for another episode.